Hey guys, it's B Wiley here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you like chit chat about dating, relationships, and how to communicate effectively, and every now and then I'll throw in a word about how to manifest good things into your life and just how to attract abundance, prosperity in all areas of your life. So recently, meaning today, I made a post about how you can go from desperate to dateable. And when I say that, trust me, I'm coming from a place of love when I say desperation. I used to be a desperate single sister. That's how I know I can recognize the signs when I see my other desperate single sisters. What does desperate look like, you ask? Desperate looks like when you're trying to do magic tricks, when you're literally trying to perform, put on a show for a man, whether that be cook for him, whether that be laying down in the bed with him, doing all these crazy, outlandish trickery in the bed. If that means that you're presenting a representative that is nothing like you, if that means you're changing who you are, you're going outside of your character to be like who you think he likes, and that is nothing like you, that is desperate. It's also desperate when you get the hearts in your eyes. I came up with the term hearts in your eyes years ago. And what this means is for single women or just single people, but I'm talking about the single woman. When single women, let's say you meet a guy, he seems interested in you. You go out on dates, you kind of talk here and there, but his actions are showing you, may not be interested, might be interested on Tuesday, not so much on Wednesday and Thursday, then he's back on Friday, he steps out on Saturday. He's inconsistent. He's up and down and all around. And for some reason, because you've been single for quite some time, because you just got out of a relationship, or because you're desperate for a man, that then begins to start the hearts in your eyes, like the emoji. That means you become infatuated with this man. And now, even though he's being inconsistent, you then want to hit green means go, put your foot on the gas, and do the most. I need for you to stop doing this. I just told you. I did some of these things. I used to have the heart so big in my eyes that you couldn't even see my head. Like, it was just so ridiculous. I was a walking, stupid, hard-headed girl. Don't be like me. And so if you don't want to be desperate, what can you do to be dateable? It's simple. When you meet someone, they're saying, hey, I'm interested in you. All you have to do is be your chill self and let him show you. If he is interested in you and if he wants to date you, guess what he'll do? He'll call you. He won't just text you. Remember, that's the lazy man's approach. If all they want to do is text. And then side note, do not accept a date if he's texting you and asking you out on a date. Another side note, do not accept a date if he uses the words hang out or chill. Those aren't dates. Those are potential ways to set you up for failure. Because if you hanging out, what are you, homeboys? Or is he romantically interested in you and ready to invest in you? So think about that thing. And when we're talking about dateables, okay, he's calling you. He's being consistent. His words are matching his actions. When you're on these dates, do not get the hearts in your eyes. How do you stop the hearts? You ask him questions that matter. Yes, I know he looks good. Yes, there is chemistry there. However, put it aside. Because relationship boats don't float on chemistry. They float on foundational beliefs. They float on things you have in common. They float on if you believe in God, if he believes in God, if he believes in the devil, if he don't believe in nothing, if he believes in the bumblebee outside. It stands on, relationship boats float on, what else do they float on? They float on character, if he has good character, if he's loyal, if he's consistent, if he's committed, if he has self-control, if he has self-discipline. Does he work? Does he keep a job? Does he have a bunch of kids running around? Does he want kids? These are all things that need to be discussed while you're on these dates. And the main thing is you need to ask him and find out, why is he dating? Some men will tell you, oh, I'm just going with the flow. Go with the flow, guys. You got to get rid of the go with the flow Joe. So if you hear the go with the flow come flying out of his mouth, you need to go flying away from that table and get out of that date. Not literally, but you know what I mean. If you are on a date and he says, well, I'm just going with the flow, I don't have any really solid plans, continue the date, keep keying, and then you decide you don't want to date him anymore, unless you want to set yourself up for failure. Because what are we wanting? We want to date with the intent to marry. Remember that. So if you know that your intention is to get married, be okay with saying that. If you know that your intention is to be in a relationship and that's what you're dating for, say it. Don't be afraid to say it. Because I'm yelling because that gets on my nerves. A lot of us women, I used to be one of these women. We know good and well that we sick of being single. Oh my gosh, my bracelet has caught onto my shirt, guys. Y'all gonna still get this word though, and I'm not editing it out. All right, so a lot of us women know that when we've been single and we tired of it and we mingling, we're ready to date, to be in a relationship. Not saying that does not mean hold your mule. That does not mean that when you're on the date and he asks you, well, what are you looking for? You say, hey, you know what? I've been dating, and I'm, as of right now, where I am in life, I am dating with the intent to marry. That does not mean that you expect for him to be your husband and that you're declaring him your husband. So make that clear, because men would think that they'll get this ego, oh, she want to marry me, she want to, let me take her down through there. So like, be clear, be confident. If a relationship is what you want, then say it. Because if you don't say nothing, he just gonna do whatever he want with you and not commit. Simple and plain, because why should he? So we're talking about being desperate to dateable. So what is desperate in a nutshell? Doing the most, being extra, going outside of yourself to please that man, trying to get that man to see you, and just performing. It's almost like you're a performer at the circus. Look at me, oh my gosh. When really he should already notice you and see you for who you are from the inside out. What is being dateable? When a man shows up, he sets his intentions, he follows up with action, you act accordingly, you're not doing the most, you're reciprocating. So when you're desperate, you're doing the most. When you're not desperate and you're dateable, you're reciprocating. So whatever he gives out, you ping off of that and you do that. It's like a back and forth tennis match, but it's smooth. It's not doing too much. Ain't nobody yelling. Ain't nobody doing a split to try to catch the ball. Ain't nobody doing none of that. Ain't nobody throwing a racket into the audience. No, it is smooth. Remember when I told you that someone told me that when you're dating someone and when they fall into your life, they're supposed to weave into your life. And a lot of us women that are single and desperate, it don't weave. It ain't weaving at all. It's all the way over here and we running trying to get it, and it's steady running away. So if it doesn't naturally come together with ease, then you are being desperate 9 times out of 10. And you have to be honest with yourself. Look, I was honest with myself years ago. I was desperate for so long until I woke up. And you know who woke me up? Jesus Christ himself. He literally tapped me on my shoulder and said, girl, you doing too much. And then I had to have a come to Jesus moment. And I had to take myself out the game. I had to regroup. I done wrote a few books since then. And now I'm here to tell you how not to be. All right, guys, it's B. Wiley here, your life coach. I hope that you want to go from desperate to dateable so that you can feel better about yourself. And not that it takes a man to show you who you are. You should already know who you are from the moment you meet that man. You should already have confidence. You should already have built up power and inner strength. And you should already be ready to know that if you see a red flag that he's trying to take you down through there, or if you feel yourself starting to grow the hard eyes, stop yourself. Because that's another thing that I had to do as I was transitioning at a desperate to dateable. Along the way, I would feel myself, I like this guy. The hearts are about to start forming. I realized that because I have self-awareness. And you need to have self-awareness and self-honesty and be upfront with yourself when you're being stupid. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just saying. So when you feel that coming on, regroup, get yourself together, and act accordingly. Now, you can't go from desperate to dateable. I didn't do it overnight. Absolutely not. It took practice, time, and more practice. So let's just say you meet a guy. It's good to meet guys that aren't for you. Of course, everybody who's been single for a while, they want to meet the guy, right? However, think about it like this. If you meet a guy, let's say you meet 2 or 3 guys over the course of the next 6 months to 9 months. That's just practice. When it doesn't work out, pay attention to what's going on and just practice on them so that that'll get you mastered in the dating area, so that when your guy does show up, because guys, they still will play little silly games. That's just who people are. You'll be ready for it, and you won't be desperate when he starts to play a little game. No, you'll address it, and then he'll tighten up, and then you'll be together, and then that'll be the end of it, happily ever after. All right, guys, I'm B. Wiley. Thank you for watching. If you're here and if you made it this far, oh my gosh. And I don't have my tea down here. I don't have no water down here, and I'm about to choke. Thank you. That is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and notification bell, guys. I'm crazy, okay? I'm a good kind of crazy, though. So put your comments below. What do you think about this video? Were you desperate? Are you dateable? What did you do? Men, what kind of women have you been meeting out there? Because a lot of men watch my videos. What do you think about the desperate woman? What are some things that women do that are just like, child, what are you thinking? What did your mama or your daddy teach you? Let me know in the comments. Outside of that, guys, I'll talk to you later.